Hi, thanks for coming. I'm Joseph. I would say you could call me Joe, but you can see how that could be an issue.
Haha.
Oh, I see how it is. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a journey off the deep end. So here we like to dive deep and explore the unknown and using as much critical thinking as I'm capable of, which isn't much to help map out the depths of the unknown. So join us today as we dive deep on one of my favorite topics, aliens.
Sounds fun.
That's right. And whom do the audience get the pleasure of listening to today?
I'm Jennifer, and I am lucky enough to be here on this lovely Monday with such a creative person.
Thanks. And there's a reason I brought you on today.
And why is that?
Well, I hear you are not only into aliens, but you love science.
That's right.
Do I have a fun exercising time and stretch our own mind out for a change?
I'm ready.
All right, well, first, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just got done updating my facts with you before the show.
That's right.
So I'm a little nervous, but very excited.
Beautiful. So what are some things you like to talk about?
When I'm with friends and family, I often talk about space.
Okay, well, I got one for you. Did you know that there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth?
I haven't heard that before.
Well, I can go deeper.
Oh, God.
There are more possible chessboard configurations than there are atoms in the universe.
That's crazy. I'll have to look that up.
Oh, what, you don't believe me?
No. It's not that.
Hey, what is it then?
That's just such a crazy stat. I would like to hear a second source.
That sounds like a good practice. We can do that.
Thank you.
No problem. Hey, fake Jamie.
What, hey, Joe?
Hey, Mark, please just call me Joseph for infringement purposes.
No problem.
Thanks, fake Jamie. How was the fact true? Don't worry, take your time.
It looks like Google pulled that fact up inside of liverpoolmuseum.org. So I would say that's a half decent source for simple conversation.
And we're an analytical bunch here, cracking questions.
Okay, so it is more than likely true.
Yep, so there are more possible chessboard configurations than there are atoms in the universe. And to help put it in perspective, that would mean there are more possible chess moves in the game of chess than, grains of sand on all the beaches.
One of those just seems too unreal to be true.
And that amount of sand doesn't even equal a fraction of 1% of the total possible moves in chess. If you can find out if any of the statements are wrong or could be elaborated on in the comments, I'll pick the winner and reply on their comment. Thank you ahead of time.
Okay, let's get down to business. The question on everyone's mind: are we alone in the universe?
Let's ease into it. Let's warm the kettle before we start whipping the pot. The universe is vast and mysterious, and one mind-blowing theory suggests that aliens could be lurking right under our noses in the form of microbes. They might be microscopic cosmic neighbors. The idea of microscopic life forms from outer space has been a subject of fascination and scientific inquiry for a long time. To get us started, let's talk about a paper that's turned some heads. Have you heard of the panspermia theory?
Oh, I certainly have. Panspermia suggests that life in the form of microorganisms could exist in outer space, traveling on meteoroids, comets, or dust particles, and potentially seeding life on other planets, including our own. There's an article I read recently in the journal Astrobiology that delves into the concept. It's like the ultimate cosmic airmail service.
That's a fascinating idea. The concept of panspermia raises questions about whether life on Earth could have extraterrestrial origins. And it's not just theoretical. Scientists have discovered microorganisms called extremophiles right here on Earth that can withstand the harsh conditions of space, further fueling the panspermia hypothesis.
Extremophiles are amazing.
Yeah.
They can endure conditions that would be deadly to most organisms. They've been found in some of the most extreme environments on Earth, such as acidic hot springs and deep-sea hydrothermal vents. These resilient microorganisms hint at the possibility of life surviving in space.
Absolutely. That was like a textbook response.
Thank you.
And speaking of microorganisms in space, remember the famous tardigrades? There was a study published in the journal Astrobiology that showed these microscopic creatures, also known as water bears, could endure the vacuum and radiation of outer space. They're like the ultimate space travelers.
Those little water bears are incredible survivors. But it makes you wonder, could microorganisms from Earth hitch a ride on a meteoroid and end up seeding life on another planet? It's mind-boggling to think about the possibilities.
Also make you wonder if that's why they're called bears. Those sturdy... Now, Well, let's touch on another thought-provoking concept. There's a fascinating paper titled The Search for Extraterrestrial Genomes in the journal Life. It discusses the idea of looking for extraterrestrial DNA or RNA, much like how we look for the same in fossils on Earth.
The idea of finding ancient genetic material from another world is like uncovering a cosmic time capsule. This paper explores the potential methods and technology we might use to search for such genetic material on other planets or celestial bodies.
And it's not just about finding alien DNA. Scientists are also considering how to recognize the chemical signatures of life in space. And here, an article in the journal Nature Communications discussed the potential discovery of extraterrestrial life by analyzing the chemical composition of exoplanets' atmospheres.
It's a bit like cosmic CSI. By studying the atmospheres of exoplanets, we might one day detect chemical imprints that could suggest the presence of microbial life.
These scientific explorations are taking us one step closer to answering one of the most profound questions. Are we alone in the universe? Microscopic creatures from outer space could hold the key to unlocking that mystery.
Yes, sir, it's an enthralling and ever-evolving field of research, and it shows us that life might be far more resilient and far-reaching than we ever imagined. So every time we sneeze, we could be sharing space with our tiny, unseen interstellar buddies. Now, Joseph,
Yes, ma'am.
here's a fascinating thought: the Goldilocks zone. The area around a star where conditions are just right for liquid water might be key for life as we know it.
That's right. And speaking of Goldilocks, let's not forget about exoplanets in this special zone. And there are over 4,000 of them discovered so far where life could potentially thrive. That makes for a crazy interstellar destination map for Elon Musk to take some quests to. For those of you who want to be filled in on what the Goldilocks zone is, here is a rundown. The Goldilocks zone, also known as the habitable zone, has captured our imaginations for decades. It's like a cosmic fairy tale where planets search for the perfect place to call home.
Just like Goldilocks herself, planets are looking for conditions that aren't too hot, not too cold, but just right. It's all about finding that sweet spot for life to thrive.
So what are the key ingredients for a planet to be in the Goldilocks zone? The first one is distance from its star. It's a bit like finding the perfect distance to toast your marshmallows without burning them.
That's a great analogy. If a planet is too close to its star, it's like roasting marshmallows over a bonfire, too hot for anything to survive. And if it's too far, it's like trying toasting marshmallows in the Arctic. Nothing's happening there either.
Exactly. Planets need to be at that just right distance, where it's not too hot and not too cold, allowing water to exist in a liquid state. And as far as we know, liquid water is an essential ingredient for life as we know it.
You sound like one of those ancient alien guys. Now, I would say the second parameter is the size and type of the star. It's like the porridge that Goldilocks tasted. Not all stars are the same. Smaller, cooler stars like red dwarfs have their Goldilocks zones closer to them.
And larger stars like our sun have their Goldilocks zones farther out. Planets orbiting in the Goldilocks zone of stars like ours have a better chance of supporting life. It's like finding the perfect size bowl of porridge that's not too hot or too cold.
I wonder how long we can keep this Goldilocks analogy working.
And then let's hear the third parameter you have for our Goldilocks quest.
And the third parameter is the planet's atmosphere and composition. Think of it as the toppings on Goldilocks porridge. Too much greenhouse gas, like Venus, and the planet becomes unbearably hot.
And too little, like Mars, and it's too cold. Planets in the Goldilocks zone need a balanced mix of gases in their atmospheres to maintain stable temperatures. It's like finding the perfect porridge toppings to make it just right.
And just like in the fairy tale, it's not enough to be just right in one aspect. All three parameters need to align for a planet to be in the Goldilocks zone.
Now, the thrilling part is that in recent years, we've discovered thousands of exoplanets, some of which are in their star's Goldilocks zone. It's like finding a cosmic family of round-belly Goldilocks planets.
Our telescopes, like the Kepler Space Telescope, have been our trusty porridge-tasting spoons, helping us find these exoplanets. And each discovery brings us closer to the possibility of finding life beyond Earth.
Indeed. But we must remember, being in the Goldilocks zone, it doesn't guarantee life's presence. It's like finding a bowl of porridge that's the perfect temperature. It doesn't mean someone's already eaten it, and it doesn't mean the spark of life happened.
So, our cosmic quest continues. As we explore more about these planets and their potential for life, we inch closer to answering one of the universe's greatest mysteries. Are we alone in the cosmos?
That's right. The Goldilocks zone is a cosmic fairy tale that's still being written. So keep looking up at the stars for who knows what enchanting discoveries await in this cosmic sweet spot.
Who knew that Goldilocks and the three exoplanets were in cahoots all this time? But here's a cosmic quirk for you. Did you know that if you're near a black hole, time slows down? So you could age at a different rate than someone far away.
Well, if you want to stay forever young, just book a one-way ticket to a black hole.
Doesn't sound as romantic now.
As long as I'm learning, I'm in a good mood. Now, onto a real puzzler. If aliens visited Earth, more advanced aliens, would they understand our language? I mean, imagine trying to explain a dad joke to an extraterrestrial.
Well, it could be a bit of a cosmic comedy show, but we're not alone in this puzzle. Scientists are using mathematical languages like prime numbers as a cosmic handshake. But I've got a cosmic joke for you. Why don't aliens eat clowns?
I don't know. Why don't aliens eat clowns?
Because they taste funny.
Please stop.
And you know, one of the most intriguing theories is the possibility of a cosmic zoo. It suggests that advanced alien civilizations might be watching us, like we're animals in a zoo.
The cosmic zoo theory, indeed, is a captivating idea. It's like a cosmic safari, suggesting that advanced extraterrestrial civilizations might be watching us from afar, observing Earth and its inhabitants without knowledge.
It's an awe-inspiring notion. One of the papers that delves into this theory is The Fermi Paradox is Neither Fermi Nor a Paradox by Anders Sandberg. It's a thought-provoking piece exploring the possibility that aliens might be avoiding us on purpose, like wildlife researchers quietly observing a protected species.
That's right. Sandberg's paper raises an important question. What if we're not alone in the universe, but advanced civilizations are giving us a wide berth to allow humanity to evolve without interference?
It's like an interstellar hands-off policy, MAX. And then there's the work of Michael Hart in his paper explanation for the absence of extraterrestrials on Earth. He suggests that advanced civilizations might be choosing not to contact us, intentionally maintaining a distance like anthropologists observing an indigenous tribe.
It's a respectful approach, allowing us to develop without undue influence. But here's the twist. The cosmic zoo theory also opens up the possibility that we might not even recognize extraterrestrial contact. It's like the ultimate cosmic game of hide and seek. That's a fascinating idea. In his paper, The Inevitability of Isolation, the Alien Zoo Hypothesis, Daniel C. Dennett suggests that advanced beings might interact with us in subtle ways, leaving us none the wiser. So we could be living in a cosmic menagerie without even realizing it. It's a concept that challenges our understanding of contact with extraterrestrial life.
And then there's the zoo hypothesis. In an article by Robin Hanson, The Great Filter, Are we almost past it? He discusses the possibility that advanced civilizations might be keeping their presence concealed, like watching animals in a zoo to avoid startling them.
It's a theory that makes us reevaluate what we consider contact with intelligent life. It asks whether we've been looking for signs of life in the right way, or if there might be more subtle, yet equally meaningful interactions happening.
One thing's for certain, the cosmic zoo theory is a profound and mind-expanding concept that keeps us pondering the vastness of the cosmos and our place within it.
Absolutely. So, dear listeners, whether we're alone in the universe, part of a grand cosmic experiment, or simply oblivious to the observers around us, the search for extraterrestrial life continues to be a captivating journey. So we could be the cosmic equivalent of penguins on display. But here's another jaw-dropper. In space, astronauts' spines elongate, causing them to grow up to 2 inches taller while they're in orbit. So it's like a cosmic growth spurt.
I guess if you want to gain a couple of inches, you could always become an astronaut. And talking about astronauts, did you know that space astronauts can't cry? Tears won't flow in microgravity, so you can't have an emotional breakdown in space.
Absolutely no sobbing over interstellar love stories up there. Let's ask how space transforms the human body and how it could shape extraterrestrial life.
Probably in some pretty crazy ways.
There's an article titled Space Travel Effects on Humans from NASA that provides valuable insights.
This article highlights how microgravity in space can lead to muscle atrophy and bone density loss. Our bodies are used to Earth's gravity, and without it, our muscles and bones weaken. It's like a cosmic workout gone wrong.
That's true. But space can also lead to vision changes. Astronauts have reported problems with their eyesight after extended periods in space. The article discusses the fluid shift toward the head, which might be the culprit.
Absolutely. It's like a cosmic case of swollen eyes. And let's not forget about the psychological effects. Astronauts can experience loneliness, stress, and even depression. Isolation in the vacuum of space can take a toll on the mind.
You have to stop with your wannabe cosmic puns.
Well, I thought they were cute.
Hey, haters in the comments, please let her know her cosmic puns aren't going anywhere.
We'll see.
Dee, I'm back on topic now.
There's a thought-provoking article titled Exoplanets and Extraterrestrial Life by Charles Cockle. It discusses the concept that aliens might look radically different from us due to the environments they evolve in.
For example, if aliens evolved on a high-gravity world, they might have stocky, robust bodies to withstand the crushing pressure. The article suggests that gravity profoundly influences the evolution of life.
Correct.
Fascinating. But what about the color of alien skin? The article also highlights how environments could affect an alien's pigmentation. If an alien species evolved under intense ultraviolet radiation, their skin might be darker to protect them.
Just like the sunblock industry on Earth. And if they evolved on a dimly lit world, they might be pale and translucent to absorb more light.
And use it to a whole new spectrum of possibilities for alien aesthetics. Now, the shape and size of an alien's sensory organs could be influenced by the atmosphere they breathe. If they breathe a different gas mixture, their sense, it's like, a night developed differently.
So we might have aliens with unique antennae or elongated noses to better sense their environment. The article suggests that the atmospheres on alien planets could define their sensory world.
All in all, space is a harsh, transformative environment for the human body, and it's fascinating to think about how extraterrestrial life might adapt to their unique homeworlds.
Absolutely. As we explore the cosmos and uncover new exoplanets, we'll continue to speculate and wonder about the marvelous diversity of life beyond Earth.
Here's a thought. There could be alien civilizations out there that are millions of years older than us. They might have technology we can't even fathom yet.
Just imagine the alien equivalent of the iPhone 10,000.
It could be. But our main issues with even locating life seem to consistently hold us back. They summed up this phenomena in the Fermi paradox. We should have encountered extraterrestrial civilizations by now, but we haven't.
Are you attempting to tackling the enigmatic Fermi paradox, a question that has perplexed scientists for decades? The Fermi paradox is like the ultimate cosmic riddle. It starts with a simple question. If the universe is teeming with potentially habitable planets and billions of years old, where are all the aliens?
It's a question that begs an answer, and it's fascinating to explore. One article titled The Fermi Paradox, The Drake Equation, in The Great Filter by Tim Urban, lays out some intriguing ideas. The article touches upon the Drake Equation, which attempts to estimate the number of advanced civilizations in our galaxy. It involves factors like the rate of star formation and the likelihood of life evolving on planets.
But one of the most captivating aspects of the Fermi paradox is the Great Filter concept. This is the idea that there might be some cosmic roadblock that prevents civilizations from advancing to the point of becoming detectable by us.
So it's like a cosmic obstacle course that civilizations must navigate. It could be the reason why we haven't encountered advanced aliens yet.
There are several potential explanations for the Great Filter. One possibility is that life itself is extremely rare. The article mentions that even simple single-celled organisms might be uncommon in the universe.
Other possibility is that intelligent life is common, but it tends to self-destruct before it reaches a spacefaring stage. The article touches on the idea of civilizations developing advanced technology and then using it to destroy themselves.
It's like a cosmic lesson in humility. Advanced technology in the wrong hands can lead to annihilation. And then there's the notion that maybe advanced civilizations are out there, but they're simply too far away for us to communicate with.
The universe is vast, and the distances between stars are immense. It might be like shouting into the void with no one there to hear us. The article suggests that we might be living in a cosmic desert, isolated from other intelligent life.
But perhaps the most intriguing idea is that advanced civilizations are all around us, but we lack the ability to detect them. They could be using communication methods or technologies beyond our current understanding.
It's a humbling thought that we might be limited by our own understanding and technology. The Fermi paradox reminds us of the vast unknowns that still await us in the cosmos. The universe is full of mysteries, and the Fermi paradox is one of the most profound. As we continue to explore and learn, perhaps one day we'll uncover the answer to this cosmic conundrum.
Let's wrap this up with a thought. Outer space, the final frontier, besides the Kraken's dens, may hold the answers to some of our deepest questions, but it's also a treasure trove of mind-blowing facts and endless possibilities.
Absolutely. There is so much to explore, and especially if you don't know much about much.
Like yourself and many others.
Most defiantly. Thanks for joining us on the first Kraken Questions podcast, where we dive deep into questions like, what is space? What if there really was people inside the light poles controlling them? And who lives in a pineapple under...
Thanks everyone for joining. Please subscribe to get notified of new videos every week.
Thank you, and let us know what you thought. As if you have great things to think about with us, write in the comments below. Mike, we much appreciate it. Hey, say bye, fake Jamie.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for
They
joining.
don't steal our spotlight.